The pageless Dallas Wings are still looking for answers and for wins, but DiJonai Carrington and Arike Ogunbowale are not here to roll over. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly right after this. What is up, Wings fam? I am your host, Erika Day. Welcome back to the DLLS Wings show. I'm joined by Dorothy Gentry and Bobby. How the heck are you guys today? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited that Dorothy's in studio.
Yes, I'm here.
Studio.
I'm here.
Let's go.
In the house.
Could we be more amped? Like, seriously, who needs a win when you got Dorothy in studio?
That's a huge dub.
Thank you.
We need something, Dorothy, to change the vibes around here.
Glad to be here. I'm ready for the vibe changing.
Me freaking too. Yeah. Well, if you guys are in the chat, welcome back to the Wing Show. Be sure to leave a like, 5-star review wherever you get your podcast, and do not forget to subscribe to the DLLS Sports YouTube channel. Like, this is where you're getting all the good stuff. You get Bobby, you get me, you get KG, Dorothy now. Basically, you get everything you would ever need for Dallas sports. So basically, you need to subscribe right now, or that's your whole rear end per me. Anyways, it's been quite the week in Wings world. So, I was pretty optimistic about the home and home series with the Sky, and it didn't really play out the way I had hoped. But so I guess we'll just rip the Band-Aid off with that. Start there. Tough losses to Chicago, both losses, and both seemed winnable at times, but it just got kind of away from them. It's kind of a shame because I feel like the matchups were there. The team needs a little more time to come together. I feel like Chicago has oddly a little bit more continuity than the Wings have, even though it still seems like chaos in Chicago as well. But the Wings have just been faced with adversity after adversity after adversity, and now they're playing without Paige, and it just didn't really work out for them against the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, that first loss, Dorothy, in Chicago, like the Wings were in position to win the game.
There.
And like Arike played great.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in between games, Paige is ruled out with concussion symptoms and in the protocol. And the second game was just brutal. And then they go into Seattle, and maybe they should have won that game too, and they didn't. It's just like this last week, like Erika said, it's just been one blow after the next.
One after the other. I don't know what's happening with the Dallas Wings. They're trying. You can definitely say that. They're definitely trying. It's been hard coming together. It's just been hard coming together. And then, as you said, Paige was ruled out, May 29th, that second Chicago Sky game here. They still haven't told us how she got the concussion, so we're not really sure what happened there. And she's not playing tonight either, so that's kind of when it all started to go downhill. We haven't seen the best of Arike, unfortunately, right now. But DiJonai, I know we'll talk about this a little bit later, but DiJonai is doing a great job stepping up in the absence of a true point guard. But, Ty Harris is also out. So it's been a rough week.
And not to spoil the whole show, but they're about to be out all their centers too. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Man, it's almost like you guys are the Phoenix Mercury with being plagued with all these injuries, man. And also, nonetheless, I think we're going to get Paige back for the first time in Phoenix. How mad are you guys going to be at me about that?
You get all the good stuff.
You do. That's
not
fair.
All-star last year, Paige this year. I mean, I'm just eating over here in Phoenix, and you guys are
not fair.
It's okay. You guys your time will come. I talked about it last week, but this team just needs a little more time to gel. Defense is not easy, and I feel like that's kind of where this team has struggled, is defensively. And so I think that when you think about the continuity of the team and the lack thereof, I think, you can have a little bit of hopes that the defense can improve because they haven't been playing together all that long. And it's really hard to be connected to players that you've never played with before on the defensive end in particular, I feel like.
Especially late in games. Like that first Chicago game, one of the decisive plays of the game, it's just kind of a straight line drive to the rim, and it looked like Arike was expecting help, but Tiara McCowan was in there, and it looked like maybe she just wasn't ready for it because Arike did get blown by. And so these are kind of communication issues, Dorothy, that I think early in a coach's tenure, your terminology is changing, your coverages are changing, and all that stuff. And Tiara and Arike both played with a different coach before together on this team, and so it makes sense that there would maybe be some mix-up like that. But in the Seattle game down the stretch, in both Dallas and in the follow-up game the other day in Seattle, they couldn't get stops either. It's like in these fourth quarters when the game is on the line, you know, when it's time to make your money, that's whenever they just can't string together three or four straight stops. Yeah,
exactly, cannot close, and that's definitely been the issue. And we're still waiting for them to jail. Basically, everybody's calling for Coach K. I'm sorry for calling him Coach K. Coach Koclanes. I got reamed for that the other day.
You did? I saw that. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But the new Wings coach, everyone's waiting for him to perform a miracle, you know, to get this team playing and, you know, get us to the top of the ranks. And it's just not happening right now. It's not to say that it won't. They're still learning, you know, how to come off, you know, as you said, screens and be ready for that pass and be ready for whatever's going to happen next on the court. They're still learning. They're still getting together.
But it gets late early, you know, because now they're 1-7.
That's true.
They're already 20% of the way through the season.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, it's not like you're buried and the season's over or anything. But,
right.
I mean, Erika, I don't know. How did they dig out of it?
It's still time. Wings fans, there's still time. There's always tomorrow. For sure. We have 40-something games. So, but you're right. At 1-7, we're dead last. Matter of fact, we play the Sparks, who are right next to us. So we are dead last in a team of 13, in a league of 13. So that's not a great place to be with the number one pick. But all is not lost. All is not lost. Keep hope alive.
I'm not worried. And I feel like most Wings fans that are true basketball fans probably are not worried either. Like you said, the team needs time to gel. And we're less than a quarter of the way into the season with a brand new coach and a brand new team. Like everyone is brand new. They're not new to this as in basketball. They are true to this. So I have the utmost faith in everyone on this team's capabilities to step up. My first episode with you guys, I may have spoiled everyone's expectations a little bit because I'm like, oh, I think they could be a playoff team. And I still haven't lost hope of that as they sit dead last in the WNBA league standings.
Like the optimism.
Listen, one thing about me, I am cautiously and overtly, ridiculously, egregiously optimistic all the time, to my own detriment most of the time, I will be honest. But I talked about it last week. This team is full of freaking winners. So,
it really is.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, DiJonai Carrington, I believe, can set the tone defensively and right the ship, because I think that is the main issue with the team, is that there's a disconnect on the defensive end. And DiJonai, I don't know if you guys have forgotten, but she learned how to play defense from the engine herself, Alyssa Thomas. And so she is able to, get the troops in line. And I have the utmost faith in her and taking on some of that leadership role. I think when you're new to the team and there is so much newness surrounding it, you got the number one draft pick, new coach, it's really hard to come in and be like, I'm a leader on this team. But DiJonai, I think at this point, 8 games into the season, she knows it's something she has to do, or this team is going to flounder, especially, and I hate to be like the beater of this part, but on the defensive end, DiJonai is by far, in my opinion, the most important connecting piece to the roster.
That is definitely true. And she has not shied away from that at all. She had, 22 points the other night against the Storm, 4 assists. And 8 rebounds. So she's doing what needs to be done to keep the Wings in the game as best as she can.
It takes 5, though. It takes 5 players, especially on defense. Like, You can be an incredible lockdown one-on-one defender and say, hey, I don't care what position you play, because DiJonai will guard ones, she'll guard fours, sometimes even centers. She'll switch off onto centers, and she's going to dig in, but it takes all the other players as well to not get blown by or to communicate, to help. If you see your teammate get beat, hey, I got to get over there, and I got to stop that layup. I got to get out there to that shooter. Like, you have to... the best defenders are able to make their opponent's lives miserable. And if DiJonai is guarding you, you're going to have a long night.
Yes.
It's going to be tough for you.
Yes.
But the rest of her teammates have to step up too. And even if they can't lock players down the way that she can, what they can do is take away all the easiest stuffs.
And that's going to come, though. It's going to come eventually. Remember, again, there's a team full of newbies, basically. There's experience, Erika, as you said the other day, with DiJonai, with Maisha, with others, but they've not played together. Only Tiara, Maddie, and Arike have. So they're still learning each other out there on the court. The sweet spots. What do they like? What do they not like?
Well, and Maddie's still a youngster, and this team... I think Ty Harris, the absence of Ty Harris has kind of gone under the radar because of obviously how important Paige Bueckers is and how prolific of a player she is. But Ty Harris is equally as important to the disconnect on this team right now. And like, you're talking about not necessarily a backup guard, but another ball handler that is able to put people in position for success. And so when you're depending on like a DiJonai Carrington to be doing that for you, it takes away on the defensive end from what she's able to do. So I just think right now, obviously everyone's panic buttons are being pressed. Everyone's worried. But I mean, really, the truth is that once this team is a little more connected and all the pieces are back, because I mean, the pieces that are missing are glaringly obvious and glaringly hurtful to the team. I think the Wings are looking at a huge improvement as far as where they're at in the league standings. I won't say they're, top 4 or anything crazy like that, but I think they're riding the coattails of playoff contention.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. They're 1-7 right now, but as soon as they begin rattling off those wins, I can see the Wings being 20-10, 25.
Well, and we haven't even talked about the fact that they've had one of the hardest schedules in all of the WNBA to start their season.
Yeah.
I mean, dang. I mean, and to the Mercury's credit, it's been difficult, but they've played the Storm 3 times, and I'm not going to call the Storm a walk in the park, but I feel like Wings fans should be a little jealous because it's almost like you guys have had so many opportunities to almost beat, these really, really good teams. Lynx, I'm looking at you, and I just feel like, if the Wings had a little bit of an easier schedule, they might have been pulling out a win or two more before now. And honestly, I don't think the Paige absence would hurt so bad if their schedule wasn't so dang hard right now.
And as Ray Jack says, they got the Lynx again on Sunday.
Yes,
so,
they're coming back.
That's exciting. Third game already against Nafisa Collier. Please make it stop.
Against the undefeated Lynx.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Brian in the chat also says, I feel like Chris Koclanes is learning, not only are the players learning the new system, but also the coach is learning the players.
Agreed.
And so all of those adjustments and all of that kind of transition period is playing out in front of us. And change can be kind of scary. It can be difficult, but you have to, you like it or not, you got to stick through the process to get on the other side because you don't really know what you have yet. You got to find it out first.
And I love what also in the chat, looks like Ray Jack Wynn said, understanding each other's spots is hard in just 1 month and a half.
And
totally agree.
Very short training camp, very short preseason.
Definitely.
And then right out of the gate again, you're playing the Lynx like 50 times.
So Wings fans, there is hope. It's just 1-7 early in the season. There's hope.
Kathy did her big one with the Wing schedule this year, for real.
We gotta get Kathy on the show and
really, Kathy,
hold her accountable.
You might leave me out of that episode. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, are you rivals?
Wouldn't you be? Can we get a 13th and 14th roster spot?
Yes. As someone we're about to talk about Eurobasket absences here in a little bit. We could use, how about 18 roster spots?
There's 2 more spots.
That's it. 2 more. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for too much. Just a little sprinkle of extra so that, when BG breaks her foot, it's not the end all be all of any team she's on. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, go on about your day, guys. My bad.
Don't go on about your day. Don't go anywhere because coming up next, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Arike, a a little bit more about DiJonai Carrington, the players that are trying to hold the fort down without Paige Bueckers on the other side of this break here on the DLLS Wings podcast.
Stay here.
But first, are you getting going?
No.
Oh, okay, let's go. I don't know if you could tell, I'm sweating in here. It is so hot in Dallas today. It's like 8,000 degrees outside, and nothing on earth would make me feel better. Oh, sorry, we're doing the wrong read. We really need a mulligan on this one. Nothing would make me feel better than an ice cold Frosty. All right, we got about 5 of those in the freezer upstairs, and it's not just vanilla Frosties. It's not just the classic chocolate Frosty. No, there are Frosty swirls and Frosty fusion flavors that you can get in either chocolate or vanilla, like my personal favorite one, strawberry Pop-Tart. Oh my God, it is so good. There's an Oreo brownie flavor, a caramel crunch flavor. KG really likes that Oreo brownie flavor. We've been eating them all week on all the shows. It really is a very exciting time. Then they also got Frosty Swirls, where you can feature the strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel flavors. Whatever flavor you're craving, odds are we've got a Frosty for it. So clock in for a sweet treat anytime, including midnight or later. With Wendy's all-new Frosty flavors, a refresh on a classic, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Let's also talk about our friends at Empire today. Folks, it is summer. You're going to be going in and out of the pool. You're going to be having friends and family over or going to their homes. If you're entertaining guests, if you're going to be having people in and out your house, you got to have that place looking nice. You got to have that floor looking and feeling fresh. Empire today lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes flooring, and they will bring the showroom right to your home. You don't got to go anywhere. You don't got to go to a big box store. They will come to you and show you what your new floor will look like in your living room, in your kitchen, in your dining room, wherever it is that you're getting hardwood or tile, whatever you want. Empire today will bring to you and show you what it'll look like. So schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. DLLS listeners can receive a $350 discount. Promo code DLLS. That is right, a $350 discount with code DLLS. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/DLLS for full details.
Man, I think we've got to get to this Eurobasket stuff, because you guys, I feel like you're kind of teasing me with it, and I don't really appreciate that.
No, we can't. We can't go on a downer, can we?
But then we can pick it back up at the end.
Is Myisha Hines-Allen ready to carry the center spot?
She's going to have to. She's going to have to. We have Tierra McCowan leaving for Turkey on Saturday, the 7th.
That's
tomorrow?
Saturday. That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's really bad news.
Yeah. She departs for the Eurobasket games on Saturday, June 7th, which means she won't be here for the third Lynx game on Saturday. Then we have Louisa, who will report to Germany next Saturday, and they're both going to be gone through the first part of July.
Oh my gosh! So earlier, whenever I said
at the airport, get Louisa stuck in Dallas. I'm so for real. The
we
mayor
need some weather delays.
Yeah. Like,
so there's going to be a hole in the bigs for real. Yeah.
That was literally going to be my next thing after this whole nonsense, is how impressed I was with Louisa, especially in that game in Seattle. And now you guys are giving me this information. This is horrible.
Sorry.
Gone for a month. Gone for a month. We did see in the Seattle game, and part of this is because Paige was out and there's a whole lot of stuff going on, all right? But that we did see for stretches of that game, Nalissa Smith play the center with Maddie Siegrist out there at the 4. And, like, they're probably going to have to just do that a lot, right?
Yeah, stay there. Stay in those positions for the next 4, 5, 6 games. Yeah, for sure.
That's tough.
But I'm going to say it. Nalissa Smith is looking more and more comfortable as every game goes by, and she really, really impressed me over the last 3 games. And I haven't been the biggest Nalissa Smith fan over the last couple of seasons, but she has kind of stepped up in a time of need for her team.
She has, most definitely. And you love to see it. You love to see it, especially after what happened, back with Indiana and everything. So, yeah, you love to see it. But she's going to have to do a lot more for sure. Myisha as well, and she has the physicality to do it though.
The issue is Only Morale says Tierra McCowan wasn't getting a lot of playing time anyway, and that's true. Although there were a couple games, especially early in the year, where T was playing pretty well, arguably outplaying Myisha. But what you don't want to have happen is, well, even if Myisha's going to get 30 minutes and Nalissa Smith's going to get 32 minutes or whatever, well, what happens if Maisha picks up 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes of the game?
Right.
You know, now your whole rotation is just doomed.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
Who's coming in?
It just becomes that much harder to practice as well. If you can't play 5-on-5 with your own team, it becomes pretty difficult. And it's already pretty difficult for these WNBA teams to even find time to practice in the first place with how the schedule is laid out. So it definitely makes it really difficult for teams that haven't quite figured it out to continue to do so when the schedule is made the way it is. And then you have players leaving for Eurobasket in the middle of it. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
While they're still trying to figure out
and
the
I was
coach.
about to say, and unfortunately, they haven't figured it out. And I think that's a true statement. They have not figured it out yet, but they're on their way. They're on their way.
So what do they do then? How do they make it work? Is Maisha going to keep starting at the 5, and then you're bringing Maddie off the bench and just hoping that no one ever gets hurt or commits too many fouls?
That part. Hoping nobody gets hurt or commits too many fouls for sure. I don't know the answer. I don't really know. I like Maddie starting. I really do. I think that Maisha coming off the bench, empowering that bench unit. She comes in and adds those fresh legs and that physicality, and she kind of helps the Wings find their way, especially in the third quarter. Whether or not she and Maddie switch, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't really know.
It's a big problem to solve.
It is a big problem to solve, but I still have faith in Coach and in this team in figuring it out. Again, it's been 8 games. And 8 of those games, against half of them against the same team that they almost beat. So I think that it's going to be okay. We just got to get maybe Nalissa some more minutes, someone mentioned for sure, and give everybody an opportunity to show what they can do. Let the gelling happen.
Now, Dorothy, I have a question for you. I don't know if you've heard about what's going on in Seattle, but it's a little bit of a mess up there. As it has been for the last 6 to 8 months.
Who knows? Trade request 1 month into the season.
But I mean, I hate to say it, but could Lee Yaroo, fix some of your issues down in Dallas?
I don't know that we need anyone else new coming into this wing. It's too much newness right now, and we don't need someone else coming in.
That's fair.
That's how I feel.
I'm just hoping that no injuries occur and then the Wings can stray away from hardship contracts.
I was about to say that there's probably going to be some hardship contracts, especially with Louisa and Tiara gone, and no injuries, hopefully. But if somebody else goes down, and we don't even know when Ty's coming back, so there may be a hardship contract in the Wings' future for sure.
The one good thing, though, is there have been kind of, especially the last year or two, there's been a lot of really good players that have signed hardship deals that have played so well that they've earned contracts. So there is a chance, this situation kind of reminds me of what we on the DLLS Mavs show were dealing with a couple months ago, whenever everyone on the Mavs kept getting hurt. And it's can you walk and chew gum at the same time? Here's a contract, but part of I don't want to say that 12 roster spots is a good thing, but one of the only good things about having 12 roster spots and only 13 teams is that there are a lot of good players available. Right. So if you do have to go sign someone to a hardship contract, you're getting in experience, you're getting in women that know how to play.
For sure. They just need a spot, a roster spot for sure.
A chance. You can't have Haley Jones though, just in case you guys were getting any ideas about that. But I did offer Lee Yaroo. I'm trying to give and take here.
No, you're driving a hard bargain.
As the mayor, it's my responsibility to make sure you guys are taken care of.
We did. Last week, we all agreed to vote Erika for mayor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out well. Not that I live in the city or anything, but I'll make sure you guys are squared.
Or the state. Or the time zone even.
Right.
It's none of us, I don't really know how the mayor works. I don't know what a mayor does, and I don't know how many votes you need, but I feel like Erika would get at least 30 or 40 votes for mayor. So probably
30
that's
or
probably
40?
enough,
Dang.
right?
I feel like that's kind of a lot.
That's at least you're on the medal stand. You're top 5.
It's like the Mickey Mouse vote for president. I feel like I'd probably get the same amount as him.
Yeah.
Which, dub. Anyways, well, back to the Wings. Arike, I wanted to visit this situation with Arike because you already said it. Both of you have already, beating around the fact that Arike hasn't exactly played to the Arike level that maybe, W fans are used to. Do you think that's a product of her environment? And do you think we're going to get to see her return to that, caliber of player that we saw before? And maybe if not, do you think that that's a problem? And I hope that that question makes sense. Like, do the Wings even need her to be that good anymore if they can fix the injury issue?
Arike is the Dallas Wings. She just is. Even with Paige here, when you think Dallas Wings, you think Arike Ogunbowale. She's been here the longest, drafted here, re-signed here again. She wants to be here. She loves Dallas, loves the team. That said, she has a lot that's working right now. I mean, Paige in, out, a whole new team, a whole coach, a whole new GM. She's trying to hold it down as best as she can. I still think that, I don't know, she's the playmaker, or she had been in the past. We know what Arike can do, two-time WNBA All-Star, MVP. We know what she can do. She's a bucket getter and all of that. She's obviously taken a step back this year for a number of reasons. I think she'll come around. I think she'll find her groove. I think she'll find the lights again, if you will. I do. I'm not ready to give up on Arike.
Dorothy? Like, you're so good at asking questions and connecting with athletes, like beyond just performers, like as people. Like, I feel like this is probably her worst start to a season in her career.
I think she feels it. Arike cares. She definitely has a heart. I think she knows that she's not the Arike that we've seen for the past 7 years. And I know that she wants to be who she used to be. She loves this team. She loves Dallas. She'll find her way again, I believe.
I hope so. Because I think Erika, I think they need her. I think they need her because, unless they can just wave a magic wand and fix the defense overnight, like they're going to have to win some high scoring games, and they need points. And, Paige has been pretty good. Obviously, they need to get her back on the floor, but sometimes late in games, she's still trying to figure it out. And Arike has hit some big shots. She's obviously, missed some shots as well in crunch time throughout the season so far, but like you need that experience, and you need someone like whenever she gets hot, you can see the other team kind of like freaking out, like, oh my God.
But
like,
she's trying to also learn his offense, learn the coach's offense. Is it off ball? Is it on ball? I mean, so she has a lot she has to get used to too, out there with this new coach. So
I just hope they figure it out fast.
I don't think there's too much to worry about. And I like when Paige comes back, I think when Arike doesn't have to do so much ball handling, she will become a better scorer automatically. I think, to your guys' the same point, they've spent a lot of time trying to get to know each other for the last month and a half. And now, hopefully, in theory, even with Paige being out a little bit, I saw she was at practice. She wasn't practicing, but she was there. I feel like that's a good sign for, cohesiveness on the squad.
Yes, but coach is going to have to figure out, back to Arike real quick, he's going to have to figure out how to get her back to the best of what she's always been. He's going to have to figure that out within his new offense, within whatever it is he's trying to make happen on the floor for the Wings. She has to be the center of that.
Especially without Paige. Jeez.
Right.
And now without any centers.
Right.
And without any backup guards.
A true point guard. I know. Oh my. Yeah, definitely. So she definitely is struggling for a number of reasons. Paige Bueckers, I see someone says Arike has to say to herself, Paige is the face. Once she says that to herself, the team will be way better. Interesting.
That is a tough dynamic.
It's definitely a tough dynamic because this has always been the Dallas Wings and Arike Ogunbowale synonymous. It just has been that way for the past 7 years. So the biggest, I guess, person to come in and maybe disrupt that has been Paige. And so maybe there's a spirit of deference, maybe. I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but maybe a spirit of deference to Paige. I don't know. I'm not on the floor, but I can just say what I see. Mm-hmm. But I think that, again, Arike having to be put into the best possible position to be successful. And the coach has to figure that out because she's still his star as well.
And the highest paid player on the team. And one of the best players in the league.
Exactly.
One of the best scorers of her generation and everything. It all seems so simple, right? It ain't no problem to figure it out. Stick around. On the other side of this break, we're going to talk a little bit more about DiJonai Carrington, a little bit more about the situation at hand, and a whole lot more. Dorothy, you sticking around?
Yes.
Let's go. All right, so don't go anywhere. It is the DLS Wings podcast. But first, hey, you should become a diehard. There's so many reasons to, and for the next 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you some of them. If you click the link in the description below or go to alldlls.com or scan that QR code conveniently right there, it will take you to a website where you pledge to give us $4 a month for the next year or $48. In exchange, you get a free shirt of your choice. We got more than 40 shirt designs to choose from, including a Wings one that I would have worn today, but I was too lazy to do laundry last night. I don't want to talk about it. All right. Life moves fast. It's a great shirt, and there's a ton of Stars themed shirts and Mavs and Cowboys and Rangers and all the other teams we cover here at DLLS Sports. We got more shirts on the way as well. If you choose a nice shirt and hey, we drop some new designs that you like, fret not. If you're a diehard, you get a 20% discount on all our merch, on all of our live events. We got a ball knower bonus going on right now as well. So if you go to there's a link on our website. It will take you. You can activate what's called a ball knower bonus. You predict who you think is going to win Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals or Game 2 of the NBA Finals. And if you place an order over $25 and you get that prediction right, you get a gift card worth 100% of your order to use on more stuff. It's a great deal if Tyrese Halliburton isn't going to spoil it for you. You also get to join the DLS Diehard Discord Lounge, a great place to hang out with 1,500 DLLS Sports diehards online 24 hours a day. You also get to read the website, alldlls.com, where we're bringing you inside coverage of the Dallas Stars coaching search, whatever the heck is going on between Jason Kidd and the New York Knicks, Dallas Cowboys drama, what day, it must be a day that ends in Y, and what in tarnation is happening with the Texas Rangers offense. We're covering all of that every single day on alldlls.com. You also get a physical diehard that you can flash to all of your friends, family, and enemies in your life. There's so many reasons to become a diehard. These are just a few. Thank you to every single one of you for supporting us.
Bobby, do you have enemies?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I hope not. I don't consider anyone to be an enemy.
If you do, I guess you can just flash them your diehard card and then boom.
They're jealous.
Friend.
Yeah. No, they're just going to be jealous.
That's good. Well, we've kind of talked about DiJonai. We've talked about the absences, plurals of all of them. And we've talked about Alyssa Smith. Dorothy, we've said we're not quite yet a quarter of the way into the season yet. And the team is still figuring it out. But if you had to put an identity on this team right now, what identity would you give it?
Oh, you put me on the spot with that one, Mayor. Gosh, I don't even know if they have an identity. I can't even figure it out.
Is that a problem?
In a way, it's not. Again, we're only 8 games in. They like to. I mean, okay, offense definitely. You know, they're an offense first type of team. You know, they run fast. You know, so their pace is fast. I don't know. I can't come up with a good name or a good moniker for their identity right now. I don't think there is one right now, to tell you the truth.
Do you think that
this is what the Wings do? This is who they are.
Do you think that there's a certain identity that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to start calling him this as well, Coach K.
Be careful.
Oh no.
Be careful.
I'm telling you, they're coming for you, Mayor.
There's a lot of Duke fans in Dallas, all right?
Yes. You know what? I I'm a U of A fan, so watch out, pal. But I don't care about Duke fans in my mentions. Bring it on. It's nothing new for me. But yeah, Coach K, what do you think he wants the identity of the team to be?
He talked about, running fast, playing hard, having a good time. Because I asked him that at the very, very first training day, camp. I was like, what do you want the players to do? How do you want them to be on this Wings team? He said, just play hard and have fun. Okay. Okay.
Do you think
they're playing hard? I don't know about the having fun right now part, but
yeah, like there's nothing fun about losing, right?
Not right now. It's not. I mean, that's just being honest.
Do they look like a team? Because I think of Arike and DiJonai both as hard-nosed competitors.
Yes.
That are they carry themselves a certain, like it's not like they're out there just like ha ha ha, like they carry themselves, they're like alphas. They're gonna go out there to like break your heart and make you feel bad about it.
Yes.
I think I don't know that like they play with joy. I don't necessarily think they have to, but for people like that, for competitors like Arike and DiJonai, and Paige is probably like that too, let's be honest, for them having fun means winning,
right?
Because that's what they want. They want to beat you.
Right. And you can tell on the faces, even with her 22.8 rebounds, 4 assists the other night against Seattle, when it's post game time and they're having their comments, you can see they want to win. They want to win. So the fun aspect, I don't think is there for sure. Of course, how are you having fun when you're not winning? But I do see the effort. And that's why I think we don't have to panic right now. The effort is there. They are trying. Definitely DiJonai, definitely Nalissa, Arike. They're all trying to figure this out while they're on the court. That's hard.
Man, the comments are having a field day today. This is our third week of the show, and I don't think they've been quite as feisty as they are today until today.
Spirit of Chad. People care, man. People care.
And, it brings me to a good question. We have a big 3 here in Phoenix. I feel like you guys have had a big 2 in Dallas for a little while with Satu and Arike. And now, in a way, you have a new big 2 and maybe could be a big 3 if it works out that way. And honestly, let me just stop myself right there. You could have a big 4 if Maddie Siegrist continues to be Maddie Siegrist. So let me just, hold my little horses on a big 3 right there. But do you think that that's a challenging aspect to kind of play into at this point in Arike's career? I don't think so, because again, to the point I just made, she was just in a dynamic duo with Satu Sabally for years of her career. And I don't feel like Satu was like enemy number 1 for Arike. And so I don't know where this attitude that Arike can't be a co-superstar with someone else is really coming from.
I hadn't heard that. She can't be a co-superstar?
It seems like the comments really want this to be Paige's team, and I just feel as though there is a world in which we can share.
Oh, I get it for sure. I see the comments as well, and I hear people, also say the same thing. They want it to be Paige's team. With all due respect, when you say Dallas Wings, you still think Arike. And until that changes, that's just what it is. Now, Paige is the future for sure. I know the Wings are counting on her to be the future as sure. She's also the present right now too. But she and Arike, as you mentioned, Erika, have to be able to coexist. And whether that's Arike deferring to Paige, or Paige stepping up more, or they're figuring out who's on ball, who's off ball, whose turn, whatever it takes for them to coexist is what needs to happen. Because as they go, the Dallas Wings are going to go. As Arike and Paige go, the Wings are going to go. DiJonai's doing her thing for sure. Maddie's coming in, Maish and others. But Arike and Paige are going to set the tone, I think. And Paige has been out 3 games, and Arike's not who she is. So the others are having to step up.
I don't really think that it even needs to be like one player's team,
That's
like
true.
thinking in the WNBA over the last like 5 to really forever, but like over the last few years, like think of the Liberty starting lineup is like 5 players that would be the best player on their own team, you know? So like they can make it work in this league, you know, but you have to find that that intangible, I mean, it's just chemistry, I guess, is like the catch-all word. You just got to kind of figure it out. You got to figure it out, you know?
And I think having that, this is a players team thing, I think came more so from the NBA, and then it kind of moved over to the WNBA. There's never been more than 2 stars on a Dallas Wings team. So we had no choice but to say it was Arike's team. There's never been more than, you know, it's never been that deep, you know, to where it was 5 players like on the Liberty who at any one time could be their team. So it's always been Arike. And then, as you said, Saw too, but now she's gone. So it's a new dynamic for us, you know, dealing with, you know, whose team is it not? That shouldn't even be the issue right now, tell you the truth. We need to put some wins together. And if forget about whose team it is.
If you ask me, the Liberty, it's Maureen Johannes' team. It's not
agreed.
Even,
right.
Yeah, forget about Stewie. Forget about all them. No. Give me Maureen.
Right.
Well, I think that there's a big aspect of like a big 2, and I think people are reading into it far too much. And to your point, Dorothy, once this team gets wins, they automatically like each other like 50% more than they did yesterday. And so right now, yeah, it's easy to point fingers and be mad at each other because they're losing games. And as I've said for the last 2 weeks, they are winners. I just sent a picture to my guy Elijah. And Elijah, if you have a moment and you want to pull it up, cool. If not, then I'll just shut up. It's literally not
some on-the-fly production. Let's go.
But I have this picture of Arike from less than a year ago where she is sitting with the All-Star MVP trophy. And let me just tell you something. It is her team. And if you don't want it to be her team, you need to wake up and go watch that All-Star game where I want to say 42 points. I could be wrong. And it was only 37. But you're scoring 37 points on the Olympic team, mind you, on their heads, if you will, with Caitlin Clark standing right next to you. Ha, 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 ha. We talked about the best scorer in the league last week. I'm sorry. Did you forget that Arike Ogunbowale literally plays for your team here in the Dallas area? So it just gets me a little fired up when people forget who these people are. And, you know, winning, like I said,
cures everything, as you said.
That's true.
Right.
Winning cures everything. We don't have this conversation if there's 7-1 versus 1-7.
Yeah. It gets to a point, right, with Arike where it's like, you guys have to understand that she is playing to the strengths of those around her, and she doesn't know what those are right now.
Right. That part, as they say, for sure. She's trying to figure it out as well. It's okay. It's okay that she's trying to figure it out.
And as things go on with the injuries, I'm going to be honest. Maisha Hines-Allen is going to figure it out, and I don't think the center problem is as big of an issue as maybe as long as everyone stays healthy. Because every time I say that on my other show, you know, someone breaks their foot, and the next thing I know, I'm putting my foot in my mouth.
Tread lightly here.
Oh, God.
You also said they'd go 2-0 against the Sky last week on this very program.
You know what? I said I was cautiously optimistic.
That's right. No, you did.
Someone's got to believe in the team. You know, the commenters don't look exactly optimistic right now. And so I'm trying to make up for all the negativity around here.
I get it, though. I get it because, again, this is a beleaguered city. All right. A lot of basketball fans here need something to feel good about. And the Wings were supposed to be that beacon of light to take us out of the basketball darkness. And it's got off to a pretty, inauspicious start. And it's just, but here's my coping. 7 losses, probably 4 or 5 of them could have gone the other way.
Could have gone,
Just
definitely.
little details here.
Definitely.
It's a dot and an I there, crossing a T there. It's, hey, don't miss a box out or communicate better or just make a free throw or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, it's such a, the margins are so thin. And if they were 4-4, I feel like we'd be like, man, this team is awesome.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I love it.
Exactly. It's all just the way it's looking right now. So, Wings fans, there's plenty of hope. 1-7, but there's 42 games. There's still time. Keep hope alive, as I said. Keep hope alive. It's gonna happen. And if it doesn't, then we'll deal with it then.
And the All-Star break is coming, right? A lot of these players played in Unrivaled or overseas. They're probably just as exhausted as all of us are.
Yeah.
And now they're rolling into this nonsense, and they've had a lot of injury adversity, and so they're playing more minutes than they would have expected to. So I think everyone just needs to calm down a little bit. The players will get some rest, get some practice, and everyone will go have a really, really good second half of the season. And as Ray Jack wins in the comments says, 7 or 8 seed going into the playoffs. Bark, 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 bark.
Yeah.
And right now they're only, I think, a game and a half behind the Sky, I believe. Sky have only played 6 games. Wings have played 8, which does change things quite a bit.
It does. And then again, who they played out of those 8.
Thank you.
Storm.
It's been a tough go round for the Wings. Yeah,
sure,
really tough.
Sure.
Those 2 losses to the Sky do kind of stink, but hey, all can be well. They can bounce back, and hopefully they'll bounce back tonight. And we will talk about that game next, and we're going to be joined by someone who will be at the game. First off, Dorothy, are you going to be at the game tonight?
I'll be there.
All right. Well,
it's sneaker night.
We're going to be joined by another person that will be at the game tonight because Kevin Gray, I believe, is he going to be joining us? Is he on? All right. Kevin Gray is on, coming up right after a little brief message. We're going to Vegas. Join the DLS Cowboys crew in Las Vegas, November 15th to 18th. This is not only for diehards. Anybody can go, but you can sign up on our site if you want to go watch Cowboys at Raiders on Monday Night Football in Las Vegas. Spend the whole weekend leading up to the game hanging out with the DLS Cowboys crew. We're going to be having a pep rally. We're going to be tailgating the day of the game. We're going to be hanging out, having dinner, doing all the fun stuff. Probably a lot of things that we won't talk about on the show because of the whole Vegas deal. So if you want to join in on the fun, go to our website, sign up to go. There is a package if you have your own airfare taken care of. You can sign up for one package. If you need a ticket, hey, you sign up for a different one. It includes a ticket to the game with a whole bunch of other DLS diehards that are going to be there. So definitely go check it out and come hang out with the boys in Las Vegas.
Whoa! Look, I'm sorry. Real quick. Before we go, oh, no. I gotta let Elijah pull this picture up because again, you guys really are forgetting who the heck we're talking about in Arike Ogunbowale. And so please, without further ado, look at this. Yeah. You see that trophy? And look, these are pictures you've never seen of Arike Ogunbowale. Why? Because I took them. And she just is that girl. And this is not as long ago as you might think. And so just so
I agree.
Get it back to your memory. I just had to make sure we got that picture out there. Yeah. She is that girl, and she's going to return to being that girl in a little to no time at all. So just, it's okay. What up, KG?
What up, tag team partner? What's good?
I'm so excited you're here, man. It's, it's a little bleak around here because, Wings lose. But now they're looking ahead to the Sparks, and I'm feeling optimistic. Unfortunately, Rakia is making her big one in her return versus the Dallas Wings, which
of course.
I don't know why it has to be personal with Rakia like that, but
You pulled the switcheroo and Elijah was like, no, you don't.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, that's one thing that we'll get into here. The front court of Los Angeles is going to be an issue for the Wings to deal with tonight. You mentioned the return of Rakia Jackson, who missed the last couple of games due to personal reasons. She had recently come back from a concussion. Her last game that she played was on the 27th against the Dream, but Rakia Jackson is back. I mean, the front court that they've got between Azura Stevens and Erika Hamby, who's been doing it for 10 years at this point. I mean, Erika's having a fantastic year, averaging, over 18 points per game, nearly 8 rebounds per contest. Azura Stevens is averaging nearly a double-double, so far this year. I mean, she's been fantastic for them as well. So the Wings front court is going to have a lot of their work cut out for them tonight to deal with a team that can give them some problems, especially in the offensive rebounding department. So one of the things I'll be looking for is for the Wings to try to keep Los Angeles off the offensive glass. So far, Dallas this year, 3rd worst in the league, giving up over 9 offensive rebounds per contest. So Erika Hamby, Azura Stevens, and the return of Rakia Jackson, you got to keep them off the board to start with because this is a team that can get after you, especially with Stevens and Erika Hamby cleaning up the glass.
Now, Kevin, you forgot someone.
Who did I forget?
Sims.
Oh, I was going to get to her. Trust me. I was going to get to our old Dallas Wing friend, Odyssey Sims.
3-time Dallas Wing.
That's right.
The Devin Harris of the Wings.
The Odyssey that is Odyssey Sims and the Dallas Wings is a movie in and of itself.
Right. Dropped 32 points the other night.
Exactly. Erika knows firsthand what Odyssey Sims can do on a basketball floor, dropping the 32 that she did, which is interesting because, you look at both of these teams, Los Angeles coming in at 2-6, Dallas at 1-7. Dallas is still looking for their first home win of the season, and two teams who have blown double-digit leads in their last game. I mean, the Sparks blew an 18-point lead to Erika's, Phoenix Mercury. And of course, Dallas did the same and blowing an 11-point lead against the, against the Seattle Storm. So both teams are going to be looking for bounce back performances tonight. And for the home crowd tonight, we're going to be looking for a win. We're ready to see a win at College Park tonight. So should be a lot of fun, a lot of star power in this game, even with the absence, unfortunately, of Paige Bueckers tonight.
And both of you guys are going to be in attendance?
Yes, it's sneaker night.
Yes.
What does that mean, sneaker night?
Sneakerhead night, where you get to wear your sneakers, and they're going to auction off and give away sneakers by Arike and Paige.
Oh, nice.
And you're going to have your sneakers on, Kevin? You're gonna wear yours
I'm going to have my
tonight?
good Jordans on. I'm going to have my good Jordans on tonight.
Me too.
So I'm excited to step out of my good Jordans and participate in Sneakerhead night. So the family will be in attendance with me. We're going to sit next to our good buddy, Nick Angstaff from Locked On Mavs. Our seats are right next to him. So we're going to hang out with my guy, Nick, tonight. And have ourselves a good time at College Park. So looking forward to it.
Nationally televised, too. It's going to be on ION. Yeah, Friday night.
Oh.
Late start time, boys and girls, 8:30 tonight. So,
8:30.
Get your nap in before you head out to College Park tonight if you're going to the game for sure.
Or be like me, drink a coffee, 6 p.m.
Or
coffee.
be like Bobby,
I need it.
drink a coffee.
I need it.
Diabolical.
Just put it right
diabolical. Drinking a coffee at 6 p.m. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Could there be more going on with Texas sports right now? You got the Wings doing this, College World Series, which is a Texas double header. Like, what do y'all even have going on in that water over there?
I don't think you want to know.
Right, exactly. I don't know.
And even on the off nights, it's like, all right, well, the Mavs' last head coach is coaching in the NBA Finals. The Stars just fired their coach. The Mavs might lose their current coach. Like, everywhere you look, stuff is going on. The Rangers are demoting prospects. It's just... there's just a whole lot happening right now. A whole lot. There was tornadoes in Lubbock last night. Just a lot happening.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the one, in Oklahoma with Texas Tech and their star pitcher. We're not talking about that tornado.
Yeah, totally different one.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, real ones touching down there in Lubbock, unfortunately. I do want to make sure that we talk about this, Joe, because one of the things I'm looking forward to tonight's game, y'all have been talking about Arike. I have thoughts on Arike. We'll talk about that at some point down the road.
Oh, Kevin's got some hot sports opinions about Arike.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I got
going
thoughts.
On in the head.
yeah. But those I'll save those for another day because we're gonna keep it fun on the show today. But I know, right? Arike and Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum has been doing it for a long time. WNBA star, champion, all-star, of course, in her first year with the Aces after, with the Sparks after leaving the Las Vegas Aces. So one thing I'm excited to see, Kelsey can shoot it. She's averaging over 3 threes per game so far this year. And this is a team that can light it up from the three-point line. Particularly if you're Dallas, you've got to be able to guard the three. They're giving up nearly 38% from downtown so far this year. So Kelsey likes to get it up. She's coming off a disappointing effort in her last game as well against the Phoenix Mercury. She was not great down the stretch in that game as the Sparks were trying to come back after the Mercury had done so against them. So two players in Arike and Kelsey Plum looking for bounce-back games tonight. That should be a lot of fun in terms of the guard matchup. Given what those two can do offensively. So if I'm giving you a matchup to watch, Arike versus Kelsey Plum is going to be the one for me. I'm going to keep my eyes on tonight.
Do you think DiJonai can make Kelsey's life miserable?
I think so because Denisha, as beautiful as she is and the flawless makeup and the hair, she's a beast on defense. She locks it up. That's why she was most improved player last year. Yeah, you have two teams tonight looking to, like you said, bounce back. It's going to be a battle at College Park, 8:30 tonight.
Yeah,
I'm kind of jealous of the people that get to be there and I don't.
Well, maybe you should come to Dallas one time and come to a game with us. Come hang out instead of hanging out in Phoenix all the time.
You're right.
Oh, there.
Yeah, you can't be mayor if you don't even ever come here. Like, what's going on?
Yo, not too much on the mayor talk, okay?
Yeah. Well, there's a big game coming up in what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks from tonight, right? Whenever maybe Caitlin Clark will play when the Fever come here. They're going to be playing in buildings like right down the street from us.
Yeah,
That'll be a wild one.
Yes.
Yeah, Fever coming to visit the Dallas Swings at the American Airlines Center on
June
27th.
Yep.
So looking forward to that. So that's going to be a big weekend in my household because my wife will be seeing Beyonce at an unknown location somewhere. So I might have to go to the game by myself. So,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I might bring my daughter with me, but that might be a dad hangout by himself that particular night, so he can enjoy Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. Hopefully, that
she's
particular
back
night
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it against the rules for all of the players to play in bubble wrap?
Right.
Like, can we just keep them all safe, please, until then?
The prices are dropping on games and everything when the players get hurt because you want to see the player. You want to see your favorite player.
Yeah, I definitely want to see these players continue to be out there and be healthy for sure.
It's almost as if a 13th and 14th roster spot could solve our issues, but nonetheless.
How about that? Bigger rosters.
Somebody work on getting Kathy, I guess. I'll do it. I'll be the man of the people, but I won't be happy about it.
Erika, you gotta storm into Kathy's office, reach deep within your pocket and pull out a physical Die Hard card. Show it to her and say, "Hey, you listen here, all right?
I'm the mayor around here, okay?"
But what do you guys think of a G League for the WNBA?
I think that'd be cool. Why not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it too.
I
and
like
then
the
you
idea.
can move people around, move people up and down if needed. I think it's a great
more
way.
Cities that way too.
Yep.
That would be a good idea. I think I would love to see the rosters expand first to give some of these opportunities to some of these players who need the opportunity to play versus what we see in terms of the squeeze when it comes to cut day before the season starts and obviously the roster spots that are there. So, but I do like the
idea. As you keep on expanding and adding more teams, it just means more regular season games. So, like, more teams means more jobs, but also more teams, more games. More games means more fatigue, more effort, more exertion, more exposure to injury. Like, if you add more teams, you still need to add more roster spots too.
That's true.
Because they're going to be playing right now. It's 44 games plus playoffs. Pretty soon it's going to be 50. And then it'll be 60.
And then they'll be robbing the NBA with what? 82?
82. I mean, why?
Don't tell Adam Silver that though, because more games doesn't necessarily lead to more injuries. Don't tell Adam Silver that.
Yeah. The plan right now is to get to what? They have 16, 17. What is the
team?
Yeah, what is the guaranteed over the next few years? 15. They're adding what, 2 or 3 more, right?
Portland's next year, so that'll be 14.
Toronto
and Toronto.
Toronto and Portland. Yeah, so that's 15.
And then there's talk of KG. You're always tweeting stuff about Kansas City. Wasn't there talk about that, or is that something?
So, Paul Rudd, Eric Stonestreet, famous actors, of course. They would love to see a WNBA team in Kansas City, my hometown, as well. I think my hometown could support a WNBA franchise. It's got a lot of opportunity there that they've got, obviously with the pro sports teams, but also the women's soccer team, the pro soccer team that's there as well. So a lot of opportunity potentially for my hometown of Kansas City to make something happen down the road. They got a basketball arena already ready to go too if they want to use one.
Houston. We need one back.
I
need the Comets back. I do need the Comets. That's actually how I became a WNBA fan. Like the years of Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, of course, and Michael Jordan of the WNBA. That's how I became a fan of the W, because those women were balling. Van Chancellor coaching those teams. Yeah, that was my entry point into the W, was the Houston Comets. That's the only love I'll ever give to Houston. So mark that. Mark that.
Man, everyone's just hating on every other city that's not Dallas today, but I guess, this is the DLLS Wings podcast, which is why you got to become a diehard so you can join in on the Dallas love. Pretty sure it's going to be that first link in the bio, so be sure to do that. Last week we kind of made a joke. We're going to be live on a day next week, so we will also be live on a day next week as well. What day? Your guess is as good as ours. We'll let you know when we know.
The best way to find out, though.
There is. DLLS_wings on Twitter right now. And you can follow all of us, who will keep you just as updated as ever. I've been popping into the Mav show, may or may not be leaving some hints behind to let you guys know when we're going to be live. So, just be around is all I'm saying. Be around the DLLS Sports podcast channel, and we will be around and back with you guys on a day next week. Is there anything I've forgotten about before we get out of here for the day?
Follow Dorothy.
Thank
She's
you.
bringing you coverage,
Dorothy,
not just in the wings.
Tell the people
every team
where
in
to
town.
find you.
At Dorothy J. Gentry everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook for the old heads.
Oh, Clarence Hill is going to be
For the
on
old
there.
heads.
He'll be following you on Facebook.
Okay.
Pop is always talking about it. He's like, y'all need to get on Facebook more. And I'm like, Clarence,
Yes.
what? And he's like, no,
Pop
it's still
always-
huge.
It is.
He's
It
always
is.
out there somewhere. That's right. That's right.
Man. Well, I'm going to go add Dorothy on Facebook myself after this is all said and
Awesome.
done.
Thank
So,
you.
Without further ado, though, we got a College World Series to get to. So
Don't forget Money in the Bank on Saturday.
I got
Get
things
that
to
in.
do tomorrow, KG. Come on now.
I'm just
Real
letting
quick.
you know.
Who's winning the Money in the Bank really, really quick before we get out of here?
Oh, you put me on the spot. Oh, geez. CM Punk and Stephanie Verkeer.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
You a
without
wrestling
further
fan
ado,
at all?
though,
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Sorry.
this is why
It's
KG's
fine.
my tag
It's
team.
fine.
It's
It's
okay.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Nonetheless, though, thank you guys all for joining us. Be sure to leave a like, 5-star review wherever you get your podcast, and we will see you guys on a day next week.
Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.